And welcome, you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. It's been 22 months since former FBI Director Robert Mueller was appointed to head a special investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election and whether Donald Trump's campaign was involved. As a result, the investigation found no evidence that President Trump or any of his aides coordinated with the Russian government's election interference. To discuss this, we're joined in the studio today by Oleksiy Kaftan. He's an international observer. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So the U.S. Justice Department has just released a statement that Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation didn't find any evidence that Donald Trump himself or any of his aides that were campaigning during the 2016 presidential election in any way coordinated with Russia. What could it mean?
Well, it could mean several things. For one, actually, the public doesn't know what the investigation is all about. No one, the general public, the people of the United States and, of course, the people of the world don't know what it's all about because no one but the officials within the Department of Justice have ever seen it.
Have actually access to the documents?
Yes.
So is this the reason why they're demanding the public release?
Sure it is. And, well, it's one of the reasons. Mm-hmm. The second reason is that Trump has got all the Trumps. So to say, because, the Democrats have put too much for this investigation, mm-hmm. and they got actually nothing. Of course, a lack of evidence, as is stated in the letter of the Attorney General to the Congress, mm-hmm. The lack of evidence is not a synonym of Trump as being clean.
Well, see, the statement goes that there is not a lack of evidence, but that there is no evidence.
There is no evidence.
They didn't find any evidence, which is weird.
Well,
because
again,
at least something should have been there.
We know what the Attorney General states. Mm. That's all. On the other hand, Trump is back on the horse again. Though the horse is kind of a pony, but still he is. He's triumphant now. And since he is, his next step, I guess, would be trying to launch an investigation against the Democrats. Why not?
What if, could Trump be taken out of the little triumphant pony if all of the files of the investigation are actually made public?
I don't think they would be. Well, at least for
So would it mean that
20 or so years.
The top officials of the U.S. are hiding the real cause of the investigation?
No. You've read the statement, and it's written there that as much as possible will be disclosed. Mm-hmm. But still, many things. I don't think that many delicate things or delicate information mm-hmm. will be made public.
Okay. While Donald Trump is triumphant at the moment, there is one person who is, I would say, on the opposite side of being triumphant, and that is Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Because before the results of the investigation had been voiced, he had the whole world, or the better part of the international community, having fears that he himself was powerful enough mm-hmm. to make Americans think that they were choosing the president, but in fact it was him who appointed Donald Trump. Now, what does this message that the investigation showed no evidence of Russia interfering in the 2016 U.S. presidential election show to Russia? What does it mean to Russia?
There was interference. there was interference, and it is a fact. Well, and we are talking about the hackers attacks. We are talking about at least trying to manipulate with information, with the public opinion, and so on. The other thing is there is no evidence of a plot between Kremlin and Trump himself. So these are different things, and one should understand the difference. The difference is that well, it's publicly known already, and there is much evidence of it, of the Russian interference into the elections process.
Well, we all are aware of the fact that if Russia interfered, which it did, then it means that there was an order from the Kremlin leader, Vladimir Putin.
Or at least...
I don't think that Russian hackers would do it on their own just because of it.
Or at least it was a will of Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
In absence of outward orders.
Okay, let's go back to the part of the interview when you said that Trump might actually initiate the investigation against the Democrats. Why would he do that? What privilege would it give to him?
Why not?
Why not? Okay.
Well,
because why not? Because I can.
But it's not about revenge only, of course. He's got he's got several reasons to do it. First, well, of course, to some point, it is revenge. It is about revenge. But on the other hand, let's hold in mind that the presidential campaign has already started.
Okay.
And one of the strongest competitors within the Democratic ranks is Joe Biden, who hasn't made an opinion yet whether to go or not.
How much does depend on Joe Biden, actually?
I guess enough to, it's enough to make some trouble for him. For instance, and again, we could, let me remind you that there are some links of Joe Biden to Ukraine. So instead, and what Donald Trump has already said, why not, after the Russian investigation has ended, why not start the Ukrainian investigation?
Okay.
And,
so should we be expecting a Ukrainian investigation?
Oh, sure,
soon?
I guess so. Well, at least there will be some tries to do it.
Anyway, the situation with the investigation itself and the fact that the investigation shows that there is no evidence that Donald Trump or his close allies actually coordinated their actions with Russia, what kind of a change could it potentially bring to the whole situation on the international arena? Meaning the position that Russia is in, that the U.S. is in, and of course that the Ukraine is in.
It's about building the new world order, of course. Kind of joking, but well, just a bit.
There is a bit of a joke in every joke.
Sure. Anyway, there are two teams competing within the Washington power game, of course, within the Democratic ranks and the Republicans ranks. And the Republicans, I guess they've got their candidate already. And Donald Trump has very good chances to become president again. And as to the Democratic camp, well, it's a bit chaotic, I'd say. So I think that within this composition, within this structure, Donald Trump will be the next president, and the Russians will have to deal with him within his scams, I'd say.
What about the upcoming presidential election in Ukraine? Because the United States of America has been very supportive of Ukraine. We have gained a lot of help in the military sector, in the financial sector. Could this whole situation somehow influence the course of the presidential elections in Ukraine and the potential winner?
I think the American government will support Ukraine with any president. But still, there are some risks if the next president is, let's say, pro-Russian. There will be conflicts within Ukraine. Again.
That's what I actually meant, because if a Ukrainian population actually elects a person who will hold the course of the country for building up closer ties with Russia, then naturally the United States are going to,
Excuse me, the population doesn't elect. The citizens do.
Oh, the citizens do, okay. And that also is a big question who actually elects the president. Nevertheless.
Well, anyway, Ukraine is one of the conflict zones within the next, say, 6 years. And nothing will change within this scheme, unfortunately. And anyway, I hope that we won't have the open military phase of the conflict.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for the population and the citizens.
Thanks for having me again.
That was Oleksiy Kaftan. He's an international observer. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for more.